So recently, we hit the streets of Pittsburgh. We went to the North Shore and to the South Side to ask questions about people's political standpoints. And it was funny because it was a large sum of people who,
More people didn't wanna talk than people that talked.
yeah, that's so strange. Like you would think everyone would be ready to share their political views about what's going on.
Maybe not on camera. I think that might have been I think
But what's the difference of being on your social media and having someone in your face with a camera?
I would be scared that somebody would edit what I say into something that isn't true
That's
or
fair.
something I don't believe in.
That's fair.
But, I don't particularly have that interest in mind.
I th- I think my approach scared people too.
Like, "Hey, this is tell me about your political views."
Is the one guy, the lady was talking. She's like, "Are you a supporter?" Her husband was like, "Becky, now,
Yeah. Yeah.
get, get over here now." I don't know if that's her name, but yeah. So yeah, I mean that was pretty fun. We tried to get some questions on sinners too, but that didn't. A lot of people didn't see it. I'm very shocked.
A lot of people wanted to see it, but they didn't go to see it, which
Hmm.
I think is, like,
It's even weirder.
crazy. Because if you want to see something and you're on the south side or you're on the north side, like, you have time to go and watch the movie. It's not
Yeah,
like you're at work all day and you can't see the movie, or you don't have enough time in the week to make that kind of plan instead of go out and drink, or you can go out and drink after you watch the movie,
or drink during it.
or yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe more people would watch it if it was on like a streaming service or
Um,
DVD or something. I don't know.
Well, it was definitely interesting though. We had some great conversations. There was a few people that highlighted a few things. We met some people that didn't actually live in Pittsburgh that weren't from here. That was from somewhere else. So that was pretty dope. There was the one guy, I can't think of his name, but I mean, I'm sure people are gonna see it. He was pretty good. I think the explanation that he gave.
But the pink plaid shirt.
No, 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 no. The last guy with his sister.
Oh, the younger
When we
guy.
kept asking her like if she saw Senator, she said, "Yeah, I did." No, you didn't. It was clear as day that you did see it. But it's fine. I'm not like whatever. But I think his take on you know, a lot of his take on foreign entities and as far as the tariffs and goods, that was a good intake. And then the two girls gave their intake about the clothing situation, how they said that the Sheen clothing jumped up in price, and the one girl was upset because she wasn't going to be able to get her her clothes for the summer. I mean, I was actually blown away when she said, "What did she say?" She said, "Oh yeah, I spent $800,
$700
700. What? What are you buying? Spending
on
$700
summer.
on?"
But I mean,
I guess that makes sense.
I if she doesn't have any other hobbies and she wants to look nice, I that makes sense to me because like
I just didn't
I
realize.
spend more in some of the stuff that I own than she probably did for her entire summer outfit.
Yeah, $700 on just clothes, though. I mean, I guess I can't really. I think I'm just thinking like, why would you spend 700 at Shein
Specifically.
specifically? But then again, I don't know what women. I never really thought about like the purchases that women make when they online shop. Like for a guy, like if I'm looking for a pair of jeans, I get like 2, 3 pair of jeans.
I have like 5 outfits and that's it, and I
Yeah.
wear them for, like, years.
Like I spend more money on shoes than I would clothing. But I guess it's all the same. I guess I shouldn't judge at all. So okay, but today we are going to be talking about the odd parallels between Kennedy and Lincoln. Both presidents were assassinated. And me and Braden was just going over this earlier. It's just so weird how a lot of what they did was extremely similar. It's like one died, and another one was reincarnation like 100 years later.
Well, I mean, they were also like not born on the same day
No, no, no. It's the years.
or the same
Yeah,
year, 100 years
it's
later.
mostly the years. So we can dive into that. But like I do have a few questions because there's some things that just doesn't make any sense. Right? Like Lincoln. You went to war, my guy. Why would you not have security?
Was a special like was there any presidential like I don't even know if there was like a
they had
secret service to like protect him.
they had to have Secret Service back then. There's just no way. Let's see. When did Secret Service start? 1901. Oh, so no. 1901.
Getting a different answer here. I mean, it's saying, well, I'm seeing something from, let's go to the,
Theodore Roosevelt was the first one with a protective Secret Service, and that was 1865.
right. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm
So
seeing.
that was 5 years. No, that wasn't 5 years. When did he die? 1860. So yeah, that
He
was
died the
five
same, yeah,
years.
he died the same year that the Secret Service was created.
Yeah. I wonder if it was created because of Lincoln. But he wasn't the first president that was assassinated, was he?
I don't know. As far as I know, Abraham Lincoln died on April 15th, 1865. The Secret Service was formed July 5th, 1865. So a few months after he was assassinated, just so happens that the Secret Service was created.
Let's see. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln was the first president to be assassinated. He was the first. He was the 16th president of the United States, the first in the US presidents to be assassinated, but not the first to die in office. His assassination took place on Good Friday, April 14th, 1865, Ford Theater, Washington, D.C., 10:15 p.m. That's crazy.
Like I said, he probably was like, I won. I'm gonna go sit up in my booth and
Chill out.
watch his theater.
Chill with my wife, had some cocktails, got a real shot.
They probably they probably didn't tell anyone that he was there. He probably came up in a private
Maybe.
in a private way. But at the same time, if they didn't have Secret Service, maybe they were just like, "You're the president. You should be talking with your people. You should
Right.
you should be able to integrate with the people that voted for you."
He should have known he pissed off a lot of people.
I mean, I'm sure he did know that, but I don't think he
Like,
really.
you didn't think anyone was
I
gonna
didn't
come
think
after
anyone was
you.
actually going to come after him and kill him.
That's just silly. I wouldn't I would
But
I
that's
don't
just
know.
that's just me making an assumption because like,
Yeah.
why else would you have nobody else around? It's just him and his wife.
I would be paranoid. I dismantled an entire regime of people who were making billions. Like I would think in my head like, "Oh yeah, they definitely want me dead." But I don't know. I don't know. So, to get into it, so Abraham Lincoln was elected into Congress in 1846. JFK was elected into Congress 1946. Literally 100 years apart. That is extremely strange. Both were elected 100 years apart on the same ending year date. Um, After they got elected into Congress, they both were elected into president in 1860, and then JFK was elected in 1960. So that part really right there isn't that impressive. Like I heard a guy say earlier today, like that's not that impressive, due to the fact that elections happen what every 4 years.
Yeah.
So that makes That kind of makes sense, especially if you were in Congress and then you were tapped for the executive branch, that's kind of normal if you're extremely popular with your ideas and what you did in Congress too. So I guess that makes sense. That's not really that much of a coincidence, right? Um, there's a few that get a little weird though. They were both shot in the head. Again, that's normal. I mean, if you were going to assassinate someone, I would
The
think
most effective way to get rid of
the
somebody.
most effective way to get rid of someone. Like I don't see anyone assassinating someone and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna shoot him in the chest." I mean, Reagan. Look at Reagan. Reagan got shot in the chest, right? Like twice, and survived, didn't he? Am I making stuff up? I'm pretty sure Reagan got shot too. He was up and at it the next day, I think.
Yeah, hit him in the left underarm.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, But yeah, I mean, but if you're going to assassinate someone, the most effective way is to, you know, dome shot, baby. That's so messed up. That's so messed up. All right. Both presidents was shot on Friday. That's. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Like end of the week.
Well, is that just something you got and do on a Friday?
if you're looking, if you're looking to do something to someone, you don't want to have to worry about like going to work and shit, right? So like it would either be on like a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I mean, there's a 1 out of 7 chance. There's only 7 days of the week. They got to pick one. Like I think Friday would be the most formidable day to choose. If you like, why would you do it on a Saturday, right? Like on the weekend, everyone's at home,
I feel like you'd want to do it on a day where the most people are probably going to show up.
which is like a Friday. Like, yeah, like a Friday. A lot of things happen. I mean, nowadays, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like the days to go out nowadays are so weird. People start going out on Thursdays. Thur- Thursdays are the new Fridays.
Definitely depends on where you live. Because, like, for
Yeah.
instance, like in the small town that I live in, every day you drink. There's 4 bars in like an L shape in our town. Like you just start at one and you end at the last one.
That sounds kind of fun though.
But there's only like 400 people, so like let's say even I don't know 50 of those people go out and drink every week. I don't know.
It's the same people.
The same people. Like it's not like you're getting like a fresh batch of
I'm
people
gonna
every
have to
time
come
you
out there.
go.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
come out there one
'Cause
day.
it was I mean, they did shut we had 5 of them at one point. They shut one down because the guy went in there and got shot.
What?
And then his getaway driver was his girlfriend. His girlfriend drove up the road, pushed him out of the car because he died in the car, tried to hide the car
Wait, his girlfriend pushed him out of the car.
in the middle of the street.
Why did he get shot or something?
Yeah, the guy that got shot used his girlfriend as a way to get out of the situation.
Oh,
They were driving up the road. He must have died in the car.
and she pushed him
She
out.
pushed him out of the car and then hid the car, had somebody try to clean the blood outside, like out inside of it, and she got caught.
She's a terrible girlfriend. Like,
And take him to the
were they
hospital.
high or something? Or
I have no idea. I don't
so wait,
remember.
why did the dude get shot? This is completely off topic. What
He
this
was
is
com he was I guess they were good in an altercation, and some people just
Yeah.
pulled a gun on him and
Damn. This girl pushed him out the car. She's shady. She should
didn't
have
take him to
drove
the
him to the
hospital
hospital or something.
and dropped him off at the hospital
Like,
at
what are you
least.
scared about? You didn't do this. Now that you pushed him out,
Now you look like you're
now you're
suspicious.
like you're suspicious. You're under.
She did end up getting charged.
Yeah, of course you did, because you didn't. You know what I mean? Like I forget what it's called, but you're. Well, you were tampering with evidence first. You tried to clean the seat, shorty. Like you're crazy. But anyway, yeah, that's wow. Well, that does sound fun though. The bar hop between those bars. It's fun when you're the new person in town and you're doing it. Everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this? Who's?" Yeah, I'm definitely coming out there one of them weekends.
Yeah, that and it's weird. We have a bunch of bars and a bunch of bakeries. It's weird. Everything else kind of doesn't make it.
Get a beer, get a donut. Yeah. Well, those pastries that you brought by previously was pretty good. Wait, yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, I think so. What did you
I
bring that
forget
one
what I
day?
brought. Oh, you mean the pepperoni rolls?
Those were good.
Yeah, those are like a little bit outside of the town, but
Yeah, those were good.
they've been around for like 100 years, 80 years, something like that.
All right, so both presidents was shot on Friday. Lincoln was shot on Friday. JFK was shot on Friday. Both was killed in front of their wives. Both of them, which is kind of weird. Would be like I'm not gonna say weird, but that's just like
Unfortunate.
it's unfortunate. Right in front of their wives. Um, Both were succeeded by vice presidents named Johnson.
Is that a last name?
That's the last name. So for Lincoln, for Abraham Lincoln, the vice president was Andrew Johnson, and the vice president for JFK was Lyndon Johnson, which is also strange because the amount of letters that they both have in their name are the same. So 6 and 7. Andrew Johnson, Lyndon Johnson, they both have the same. Just it's just strange. There's a few things that they said that are true, but it's just not true. But I'm not even going to say those. We're going to talk about the ones that are actually real. Um, Lincoln was shot in Ford. No, no, okay, now this is interesting, right? So Lincoln was shot in Forbes theaters, while Kennedy was shot in a Lincoln made by Ford. Like that's creepy.
Mm.
That's just a creepy parallel. I mean, I still cannot get over the fact that he like even in the early 1800s, right? Well,
That
not
would have been
early,
like the
but
mid
the
mid
mid
to the late.
1800s.
Yeah.
If the president of the United States was this important figure for the country, why wouldn't you think he needed security? Like why did people not think they would need security?
I just don't think that was the standard back then. I think everyone pretty much was on the same level of like understanding whenever it came to the importance of the president. I don't think anyone ever had thought like we are going to assassinate him. Like I don't think that ever crossed anyone's mind.
You think that access to the president of the United States was different? Like
Yeah,
you think like regular people were able to have access?
I would imagine so. Because I mean, whenever the whenever America was founded, I would assume that's like probably the most important thing. You don't want to vote for somebody that you don't even know in a way of voting that is relatively new. Like you just don't want to say, "Hey, I want that guy."
It's just a strange concept to me to actually think like that wouldn't.
And I don't think like the type of or they didn't have advanced like, weapons back then.
That's true.
Like the most you could probably do is like stab somebody a bunch of times or like club them.
And they still had rifles.
But like if you walk into a theater, someone's gonna see that you have a rifle or
Yeah,
not like a
they're
pistol.
gonna get
That's a
yeah.
whole different story. But I mean,
Well, he was like right up on Lincoln when he did it. Like he didn't die in the theater, right? Like I remember being a kid. I want to say it was either fourth or fifth grade. I don't know. It was elementary though. We did the trip to Washington D.C.
mm,
to see like everything, all the statues, the memorial sites, and all that. Blah blah blah. We actually took a tour of the White House and saw the Lincoln bedroom of where they were trying to nurse him. I mean, obviously he was,
gone.
yeah, that headshot. Especially back then, them bullets were
They're just big. They're like round. I don't know. Were they actually
pellet.
bullets or were they actually like
They were like
thought they were like ball, like a
extremely heavy balls.
yeah.
Like they were like this. They were huge. It was
So I
like
don't think
this
they
big.
I
It
don't
was like
think they
one
had,
shot.
whatchamacallit, I don't think they had bullets yet. Or maybe they did,
No,
but it was
they were like metal. It was just metal,
just a metal
big
ball.
metal balls. But they used to have to stuff them
Yeah, with
with the
gunpowder.
gunpowder and stuff. Like it was one shot. But can you imagine, like, let's say hypothetically, the guy shot and missed, like, because it was too dark in the theater. It's like you just
Yeah, you have one chance.
one chance. Could you imagine if he blew that? No, I couldn't either. But that's, I mean, yeah, that's just so messed up. Like now that I'm thinking about it, like his wife was there. I'm wondering who else was around during that time because who carried him? Like dead weight is Lincoln was a big guy.
He was tall.
He was tall.
I mean, I would imagine, like, after the shot,
A
his
lot of
wife cried
people.
out, and then everybody came up and saw what happened, they helped
Yeah.
him. They're like, "As the president, we gotta help."
Well, they say the guy that shot him, I can't remember his
John
name.
Wilkes Booth.
Yes. He ran to a barn and they actually didn't take him into custody. He tried to have a gun battle with, I guess, the police or whoever was trying to arrest him at the time, and he died on site. As far as like he got into a gun battle with them. I guess he had like other like guns in the barn, I'm guessing, and he got into a gun fight because like I can't see him having that one pistol and reloading that, getting into a gunfight. It's kind of,
You're definitely prepared
yeah,
in some capacity.
yeah. Because he obviously knew, he ran away, got away for a little bit. He should, I don't know why he went to the barn. He should have just left town, dude. Jumped on one of them horses and just left. Yeah, messed up situation. Messed up. But he was shot. Okay, so Lincoln was shot in a Ford theater while Kennedy was shot in a Lincoln made by Ford, which is just a strange coincidence. Okay. So this is a good topic. Both of them were concerned with the civil rights, right? So Abraham Lincoln was concerned with the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed majority of the slaves down south during the war. And JFK was concerned with the Civil Rights Act of 1965, which is, during those times, like, so like the act was signed into law August 6th, 1965 by President Lyndon Johnson. So he was shot, what, 1960? JFK was shot in 1960. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed it into law 1965.
I think he was shot in 63.
Was he? You're right. Yeah, 1963. And Lincoln was shot 1865. JFK was shot November 22nd, 1963. Mm. So I wonder if it was I wonder if it was the civil rights movement for both that really got them in hot water. Like I really wasn't sure why JFK really, I never really understood why JFK got assassinated. I think there was like multiple reasons. Like like I heard about the missile crisis. I thought that was one. But he also was beefing with the CIA and FBI, right? Like was he trying to dismantle them?
I mean, he was either trying to. I think he was trying to eliminate one of those branches. I'm not sure which one specifically, but I think he got a lot of heat from from his peers for trying to do that, and that could have potentially caused some more tension, unnecessary tension.
So they both suffered from genetic diseases. That's I'm not gonna say like that's a similarity, but that's kind of it's not really common.
Uncommon?
I mean, it's not uncommon, yes, right? Like especially during that time.
I mean, like most people have some sort of.
Yeah, yeah. There's something wrong with everyone at one point, health wise, depending on age. But they both were second children. They had older brothers. Uh,
Which I can't really see being too much of a coincidence either, because like I do believe that if the further you go back in history, the more children people probably had
yeah,
because they had to have them.
yeah. One thing that was weird though is they both lost children while in the White House. That was weird. But losing a child back in the middle of the 1800s, that wasn't uncommon, right? Like it was kind of regular.
Or it was easier to accept. I wouldn't say accept, but it was more
It was more. It was just
it
yeah,
was more predictable
yeah.
than
Rough
not.
times. Diseases was rampant. No vaccinations at the time, which people hate now, which is weird because I'm pretty sure a lot of people back then would have been like, "Oh my God, it's a miracle."
Some of them. Some of the vaccinations I think are really really necessary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not all of them are. I agree with you on that. Not all of them are, but a lot of them, especially what they were dying, polio. Like what? People would have been like, "What the fuck? Yeah, give me that shit." But so yeah, Lincoln. I can't be. I don't know if it was a girl or a boy, but I think it was his son. I think Lincoln had a son that passed away. He was a little older. He was older because JFK had a baby, which is still messed up. And it was even weird because like it wasn't common for children to die after the 1900s. It wasn't really that common. A lot of that slowed down, especially that time, 1960s.
1860s?
Eight no no for I'm talking about for
Oh, you're
JFK.
talking about JFK.
Yeah, that's not really a common thing to happen. Mm, did you hear that? uh what else? What else? What else? What else? There's a few other things. So the party nominations for the vice president, they were both presidents were runner-ups for the party nomination for vice president in the year ending in 56. So for Abraham Lincoln, it was 1856, and for um, JFK, it was 1956. That's actually a really rare coincidence. That doesn't normally happen, right? Um, they both lost sons in the White House. Uh, oh, another thing for their vice presidents that they chose. So Andrew Johnson, that was the vice president to Abraham Lincoln, um, was born in 1808, and Lyndon B. Johnson was born ending in 1908. That's fucking weird. That's just weird. It's like the entire thing were just repeated. Also, each president in their 30s married a socially prominent 24-year-old girl who spoke French fluently.
They both spoke
They both
French?
spoke French. Both the women that they married spoke French fluently. But then again, that makes a lot of sense because like the cultural aspects of France during that time had a lot of influence on the United States. A lot of goods came from France. They were gifted a lot. You know what I mean? Like that was
like the Eiffel Tower
Yeah, it
or
was a
the
like
Statue of Liberty. I mean,
yeah, Statue of Liberty was gifted to us. I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of like back and forth between the French and America during that time. It's probably why they can't stand us now. You
that's
know?
probably why they want the statue back.
That's probably why they want the statue. Like you're not the same. Give us our shit back. uh, let's see. This is another weird little fact. Both were boat captains. I don't even know what that means. What is a boat captain? Just a captain of the boat?
Yep.
Like that's it? Is that really
Yep.
like okay, what they had like a crew?
Probably, or maybe just like one or two people.
Why wouldn't you just say the captain of the boat? Why do you say a boat captain?
It's the same thing, right?
Right. Well, why would you say boat? Like if we were talking, I wouldn't say, "Hey, did you talk to the boat captain?" I would say, "Hey, did you talk to the captain?" 'Cause there's no other word for it,
I don't know.
right? Like there's no other fucking word for a captain on a boat. Why would you? Oh, the boat. Oh, the boat captain. He was a boat captain. Like, just- I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds insane. Okay. Both were related to U.S. senators, attorney generals, ambassador of Great Britain, and the mayor of Boston. They both were related to all five of those. That's that's just weird. Mm. Let's see. Okay, so before each was elected, a sister died. Both had a friend named Billy Graham and knew an Adele Stevenson. Both of them. Just it's just like
Yeah, I
I don't know if I
mean,
believe that.
that sounds. I mean, even that is.
That
I
sounds
feel like
like
those are some pretty common names. Like Billy.
yeah, during
Billy's a
that
pretty
time.
pretty common name, and then I mean,
But they both had sisters that died.
that-
That's
that's a strange coincidence.
I mean, Kennedy family was huge. I think it's sad that they got picked off like one by one, dude.
Wasn't there one of? I think was it one of his sisters that had like pica,
Yeah.
and she was admitted to a sane asylum.
hmm that entire the entire story about the Kennedy family is just so strange. You know, like I don't blame RFK for how he turned. That's depressing, dude. That's sad. But good for him. He pulled himself out of that habit. I'm glad that he's not on drugs anymore. But like, holy shit, that entire family, they went to some things, man. Like I cannot. Mm. But the whole it was just like it was almost like a Final Destination thing with that family. Like I don't know. I don't know. All right. So President Kennedy had a secretary named Miss Lincoln, and the President Lincoln had a secretary named John Kennedy. Okay, so that's a lie, right? I found out that that was not true because President Lincoln's secretary and it was something Hayes. So this isn't true. That's a lie. That's a myth. I looked into that. That is not true. So like I wonder like if people just like over the years just started making up stuff
To make it seem
to
like
make it
it's
seem
a
like
greater thing than it actually
yeah,
is.
they had to have.
I mean, those are two pretty significant things in history, so I would imagine that would pique somebody's interest at some point, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, what else is there?" And then they'd probably try to find ways to manipulate that to make it seem like it's a way bigger thing than it needs to be.
Yeah. I think the numbers with the names is kind of interesting though. The name Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters, right? I think that's the number frame of how they framed it. And then to make it even worse, both assassins have 15 letters in their names. It's all equal, right? Like the numbers is what really freaked me out. Uh, what else? What else? What else? Uh, so okay, so this isn't really. I don't think this is really like a coincidence. It says both assassins were in their turned assassination by shooters who used a Colt revolver and fired only one fatal shot.
In both situations, you kind of only have one shot.
I mean,
Because whenever Kennedy got shot, his wife covered him up with her body.
yeah, and it was so it was also a distance thing, right? Because JFK's shooter was in a warehouse,
Yeah. And
like
he was in a moving car.
he was in a movie. Yeah, that was a little different, but the assassin was very close to Abraham Lincoln and got died. He died close range at a barn, right? Where JFK's assassination, where did he die? Was it like he died?
JFK?
No, 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 not
Oh,
JFK.
oh, Lincoln.
No, 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 JFK, the person that assassinated JFK. What was his name? Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
He, how did he? He died in front of cameras. He got shot in front of cameras, didn't he? It was like on TV. Like he was shot in public. Like he was arrested, but I'm pretty sure they killed him in public.
Somebody else shot him live on television.
It was live though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought okay, I wasn't crazy.
The guy that shot him, his name was Jack Ruby.
Jack Ruby. Let's look you up, Jack. What was the reason why he did it? Jack. Look, Jack looked like he didn't play that shit neither. Chicago, Illinois. Look at this guy. American nightclub owner who murdered Lee Harvey Oswald November 24th, 1963, 2 days after Oswald assassinated President John F. Kennedy. Born in Chicago, Ruby operated a nightclub in Texas. On November 24th, 1963, 2 days after the President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Ruby shot and mortally wounded Oswald in Dallas police headquarters and was immediately arrested. The shooting happened on live television. Ruby was convicted and sentenced to death. Wow. This was overturned by appeals, and he was granted a new trial, but Ruby fell ill and diagnosed with cancer and died of a pulmonary embolism on January 3rd, 1967. They were going to give him the death penalty.
I mean, I would imagine so because he killed somebody that had critical information to why the president died.
That warrants a death penalty?
Well, I guess it also depends on what their uh, law was at the time too, right? Because I'm sure like now the death penalty is like not even really a thing anymore. Some states are starting to do away with it.
Yeah. So it says in 1964, the Warren Commission concluded that Ruby acted alone in killing Oswald, that Ruby shot Oswald on impulse and in retaliation to Kennedy's assassination.
Like he was like doing
He was
justice
doing
for the
justice.
country.
Yeah. He must have been a fan of President Kennedy. Like, how angry would you have to be? Like, you just throw your whole life away because you wanted to kill the guy that killed the president.
I mean, if you put it in a different situation, like somebody committing adultery, I can see why people do that. Like if you were to catch your spouse of like 20 years
Yeah.
in bed with somebody else, I mean, I could see myself uncontrollably like doing something impulsive like that.
Yeah. That's I think that's different though, right? Like
I mean, it's a
he
different
didn't
type
know
of love,
he didn't know he didn't know him though.
but he loved it. I mean, this is assuming that he did it in retaliation because he liked JFK. But if he did, he could have had just a a very strong love towards his president.
Mm. But both parties, right? They do say that they considered both of them conspiracy theories for Abraham Lincoln being killed and also for JFK being killed. Now, we were looking through the documentation for JFK and the killings, and there's no fucking way. I'm not reading all that. There's like,
There's 2,500 documents
yeah, I'm not reading all that.
that were released.
Yeah.
And that was just this year. They released some 2023, 2022, and 2020, which were like nothing compared to what was released.
Yeah, I'm not reading all that.
But the way that it was uploaded, they did exactly what they said. They released a bunch of new information on the Kennedy assassination, but you really have to know the whole story to a point where reading that new information makes sense to you. You can't
Yeah.
just kind of go into it and expect to understand it whenever you start looking at these PDF files. Because I thought they were uploaded maybe in order or maybe some sort of chronological order or whatever, but I just couldn't make any sense of what any of it meant. And there's no context behind it either because I just don't know enough about the situation.
So there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding JFK.
Right. That's why I would assume that there was such a big push to get more documents releases to kind of,
Yeah.
up and close that out.
So like again, there were some people that was in a party that didn't agree with him shutting down the CIA or the FBI. That was a huge one. Um, Another one that I read recently was the fact that Oswald was a scapegoat and he didn't actually do what they're saying that he did. And one of his security guards that was in the car with him shot him. And there's actually a guy that went on record. I forget what this guy's name was. There was an interview just recently um about the conspiracy theory for this, and he said that like he was confirming that the Secret Service is the one that shot him from from them from him being in the front seat. So he was in the front seat and he kind of like turned around and let off one shot.
That I mean, that would have to be incredibly like lucky.
I mean, or skilled because to pull that off
Right.
in front of all those people. I mean, the guy was also saying, he said, if you looked at the tape from how the car was driving and how it was angled, he said that you can tell that the video camera itself was altered. Like it's not the same. It's not the original footage,
Hmm.
right? So I don't know if they were like live streaming the car ride because like how like television is delayed throughout the United States. Like there's some parts of the like for example, if they're live streaming something, there's some parts of the country that catch it before other parts of the country because they don't get it till later or like a few minutes later. I'm guessing, right? Like they can edit. They have time to edit a few things if they don't want that to be in there.
Uh,
Like
I don't. That is tough because like I don't think you'd. I don't personally think that they'd have the capability of making that kind of edit within like whatever time delay it was. Now maybe like if no, like I just can't see that being a possibility. Now I could see like maybe the original footage being,
edited now.
broadcasted and then whenever they archived it, maybe they altered it in some way, shape, or form. But I think it would be at least from in the time that this had happened. I really don't think that there was an easy way for them to do that.
They also had a closed casket, a closed viewing for JFK.
Oh, I hope so. That's pretty. That would be pretty crazy if they did an open casket for a president with
Yeah.
a hole with a very large hole in him.
that entire situation was disturbing. Like when I first saw the video, and when he got hit, his wife like hovered over him and then climbed to like the back of the car. I was like, fuck. Like, can you imagine what her nerves was like?
It probably was just instinct at that point, right? Because you just want the only thing you know is that something happened, and you just need to protect your husband.
I just don't know what made them think. I mean, this okay. So for Abraham Lincoln, that makes sense. It's a little different. It was in the beginning. He was the 16th president. They've never seen an assassination attempt. They never thought it was going to happen until it did. That's fair. But for him, the president of the United States, to ride around in a drop top convertible is crazy. That's crazy. Like, I would be paranoid. Like, having that much power, I would be extremely paranoid everywhere I went. I don't care what year it is. I was paranoid when I was born, so I don't I don't know what the fuck these guys were thinking. It just didn't make any sense to me. Like, you thought you were that loved? We're talking about an extremely, how can I put it? Racially charged error, and you're making extreme moves for the civil rights community. I would think I would have enemies, right? Like if I was JFK, you're ending segregation. You're ending African Americans and Caucasian children going to the same school. You're ending a lot of stuff. You're about to change the landscape of America. Why wouldn't you think you had enemies? Like, why would you think that no one would try to? I don't know. I don't know. I think that whole entire.
Yeah, I'd be concerned too, especially after Lincoln. Like, even though that by that point it was many presidents ago, but like
I would still be worried.
I would still be very cautious about what and how I traveled, especially being the president. Like, you are like very important,
Yeah,
regardless of what party you're a part of. Like, you're one of the most important people in the world. I would be super cautious about what I did.
very, very much so. I would be extremely. Let's see. So it says the photo technician who made the secret copy of the JFK assassination film says he was afraid because he basically that's so this guy basically said that he saw the real footage. So why, like, my thing was is why would you say that? Why would you say I saw the real footage? Why wouldn't you just say I saw the footage? And he said the guy basically said the real footage freaked him out, and he was scared to actually recreate the scene. He said the photo technician who made the secret copy of the Zap Runder film, the clearest video footage of the President Kennedy assassination, said he was scared out of his wits. Now, again, we're moving into conspiracy territory, right? Like we don't know what's real, what's not real. We would have to float through all that documentation. Like I was even concerned at the fact that um the amount of people that they, like when we were reading the list of the amount of people that they
Assumed that we're the
assumed
killer.
was the shooters, it was like 50 people. They gathered around 50 people.
Still, if it's only 50 people out of excuse me, the hundreds of millions of people that live in America, you must not have that many people that want to come after you. Because like that is like a 0.000 whatever percent of the population that wants to come after you.
Yeah.
That's incredibly small.
But
50 people.
I think they were just detaining people in the area.
Right. That
Yeah.
would probably make the most sense
Yeah,
because
that's
they wouldn't be able to do the entirety of the
right.
United States. But still, like only 50 people out of how many people were, okay, let's say
I
a
don't think
couple
there was a lot of
thousand
people
people.
there.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. I don't think that was actually, let's check. Let's So what was that? That was in Dallas, right? Yeah. I can't really. I'm not. I don't know. How would you look that up?
So his rally was
1960.
is in Parkland Health, Texas,
Right.
Dallas, Texas.
On the 22nd of November, Delay Plaza. Oh, he was hit twice, the head and the neck. So the bullet must have moved. It must have like went like so okay. So think about this. Either the bullet hit on this angle here, coming down into the head, out through the neck, or like the guy was saying why he was scared because he saw the real footage, the Secret Service in the front seat shot him
like took advantage of the situation and
shot him from the angle. So the bullet went through the neck, through the head. Because there's only two ways a bullet would transport through that, right? Like Oswald would need to be high enough to hit him at a perfect angle if the downturn bullet is just going like this, like straight through, right? Like normally when bullets enter the body, it changes the direction of where it's going depending on how it hits. Or if or it could be a clean shot, which obviously it ricocheted, it moved. Or the security guard in the front was like if you so if you watch the tape and how the Secret Service was sitting in the front, he was sitting like this. Like his arms were crossed.
I think the guy in front of Kennedy also got hit. I think
Both of them did.
I think they both did. I remember reading about how like they considered the bullet that shot JFK as like the like quote unquote magic bullet because it somehow it traveled like down or through and down something out the back and then hit somebody
It
else.
hit someone else.
But that was what 10, 12 years ago that I read about that, and I have no idea if that source was even reliable. But I'm fairly certain that the person sitting in the passenger seat in front of uh, JFK was also hit.
He said he captured frame from frame, the Dallas dress manufacturer captured frame from frame the most valuable historic document of all time. The 8 millimeter silent film, the 8 mm, I'm guessing millimeter, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so the 8 millimeter silent film was purchased by Life magazine, which published screenshots of the print but never aired the movie. Gordon was working in Manhattan Effects, in 1969, where he had a special expertise to blow up an 8 millimeter movie for theatrical distribution. Um, he had previously completed a large job process 8 millimeter film for a documentary about the Woodstock Festival. Oh, Woodstock was fucked up. Everyone's talking, oh, wish I would go back to Woodstock. I don't. There was like landslides of people dying during that time.
that's crazy.
Like, do you know how many people died during that festival?
No.
Not to get off topic, but holy shit. Okay, let's talk about that for a second because I'm glad that came up. Thousands of people suffered injuries or heat strokes.
I could see the heat strokes because I mean, how many at least I'm seeing here estimated 400,000 people. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
So I
That's a
could see
lot.
how heat stroke could be a thing.
But they said only 3 people died. I don't believe that. I believe there was more people that died. There's no way out of 400,000 people, only 3 people died. There's no way. I don't believe that. I think they're lying about the numbers. It says woman reported being sexually assaulted and raped.
That is, I
I believe that.
100% believe
I
that.
believe that. There were one more Woodstock festival planned after that one years later for the 50th anniversary of the original, but those plans fell apart, which maybe was a good thing. So basically Woodstock was the new Coachella now, right? If I had to take a guess.
Yeah, just a music festival.
Just a music festival. But I don't believe only 3 people died. That's bullshit. Like, I watched a documentary on Woodstock. The one guy said, "We're not really sure how many people died." What what the fuck does that what does that mean? And what happened to the bodies? They just I would never would mm. But it's funny because, like, when you talk about Woodstock, you talk about, like, how good the concerts were.
There
Oh, it
were,
was
I mean, there, from what I can see, they had some pretty good performances there. Like
so what
Jimi Hendrix was there, Grateful Dead was there. Like there was,
Grateful Dead was there.
so I
I
mean,
just don't
just those
under
two names alone is pretty. I mean, you got to figure this is 1969. The only thing you had back then was a book. You drive somewhere, play a sport. Like there was no social media, there were no phones, there was no
Yeah,
reason to stay inside.
yeah.
You wanted to go out and do things. Like I think only within the last 25 years has not going outside been more enjoyable than ever.
It was dangerous back then. I don't think I would've liked it. I mean, okay, let me not say dangerous. It was just like it's just weird, right? Like, some of their activities.
You got to find fun or entertainment somehow.
But my thing is like, okay, so Woodstock was so big. Were they like any like venues? Like, were people selling anything? Were there like there was no one selling water, drinks? It was just a bunch of people that just brought their own shit.
I would imagine so because like a buddy of mine goes to like these festivals similar to this for what is it called? Um I'll probably put it up.
They're like little
But
raves, right?
they're essentially like raves that pop up all over the country, and they have like big names like I think Shaq was one of the DJs that's gonna be there,
Mm.
and like Skrillex and a couple other. I don't know too much about that genre of music, but like those are the people that I heard, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'd probably go and see it, but like that type of crowd is just not something that I'm interested in with particularly.
I went to one a long, long time ago, and if she's watching this, she can confirm this. I went to one a long, long time ago at Willie Nelson's what is it called? Willie Nelson's Park. It's probably about an hour and a half away. It's like a massive at the time. I think it's Willie Nelson.
Duluth's Bayfront Park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no lights. It's just there's a stage where you can perform, and then there's a lake right in front of the stage of where you're performing, and it's like a sanded beach area, and then it moves into the grass, and then the rest is like a completely wraparound where people can set up for camp, and they kind of stay there for the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's similar to what my buddy does too. But they have like places you can fill up like camelbacks with water,
Yeah,
or they have like alcohol
yeah,
and other like food. There's food trucks and stuff there too.
yeah.
But it's like a whole 4 days or 5 days
It's
or
a
something.
whole day experience there.
And you can either pay money to stay on the property in like a tent, or you could get a hotel. And I looked up at some of the prices because that's not really my thing. And he was really trying to get me to go
Yeah,
because he really enjoyed it. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna go, I'd probably stay in like a tent because they make tents for you to stay in. That's part of like one of their packages. I was like, I'd do that. That sounds pretty cool. $1,500
yeah. We didn't pay that
ticket,
much.
the tent, and that's it.
That's
You
crazy.
got to pay for parking too.
That's crazy.
I was like, you can. I don't. I just can't.
Yeah, we didn't pay that much. I think we paid like 250 a piece or something like that. I'll never do it again. I'll never. One, I don't even like sleeping outside. Let's just. I don't like that shit.
I don't mind it.
I'm not a fan. I'm not. Okay, let me correct myself. I'm not a fan of sleeping in the woods outside in a tent. The mornings are the worst. The mornings. I remember when I used to go to when we were younger, my mom used to send us to these Christian camps, right? And we would go into the woods, and we would go. You would just be. It's a Christian camp, summer camp. You go there, you go camping, you live in the wooden cabins, and then in the morning you take the coldest shower in the world because there's no hot water. You got bugs the size of this sitting inside the fucking window watching you shower. Come to find out it's a locust. Like why am I here? Right? Like I want to find Jesus in the woods. I don't want to be here. I don't want to. It was fun though, right? One of the best parts I loved about it was we used to have like these tournaments. We used to play like these certain tournaments, like basketball and football tournaments or whatever. They had like frisbee days. My favorite part was the canteen. You take like $100 and you put it on the canteen. You can just go to the canteen and get all the snacks you want. But other than that, I would never want to be outside again. I don't like waking up to being cold. It's freezing in the forest in the morning. But when we went to the Willie Nelson one, right? One, I don't do drugs, but the amount of drugs,
It is
it was
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
It was mine. I was like, well, you know what? I drink, so I'm gonna drink a little bit, but it was just mind blowing the amount of drugs that's being used. And then they tell you make sure you lock up your food in the car and like you cover it so like I guess the smell doesn't get out. We didn't do that. I guess the people I'd never been to the I don't know, right? I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know that you're supposed to do this, right? So we end up sleeping in the car because it got too cold to sleep outside for some reason the temperature dropped. We get in the car, and I'm gonna jump back on topic. We get in the car. All I hear is hmm, hmm. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around like, what the fuck is that? You can't see out the windows, right? Because we been sleeping in the car the whole time. The windows are frosted, so you can't. All you hear is, hmm, hmm. I'm like, I'm like, I hope that's a deer. I hope that's a deer. There's no way it's a bear. There's no way.
There's
Like,
a bear in Pennsylvania.
I know that, but like, what are the odds?
Yeah, you
There's
don't want it to be a bear.
there's no way. So I'm sitting here, and like one of those paralyzing dreams where you like sit there and you're like, wait, is this really happening? Am I dreaming? So she looks over at me. She goes, "Wake up! Don't say anything." what was I going to? What was I going to say? Right? What did you think? What did you think I was going to do? Get out the car and fight the bear? No. I might, I might kick you outside first. But the bear literally came up. He was rubbing through all because I left the stuff outside. She asked me. She goes, "Did you leave anything outside?" And I'm thinking in my head like, "Damn, there's like 2 bags of chips out there, like the big bags." And you can hear the bear going through it. Right? I say I give about 15 minutes. The bear walks away, and I told myself, I said, "I'm never doing this again." You know, 100 people versus a bear. Who's gonna win? Just like 100 people versus a gorilla. Who's who's gonna win? Right? I don't want to find out. I don't. But yeah, that. So Gordon was working in Manhattan in 1969. He did the Woodstock Festival, and then he jumped back to reality. He said the Life magazine found out about it, and they wanted to see if the Zapruder film would hold the resolution and clarity to blow up from 8 to 35 millimeters, I'm guessing, explained Gordon. Well, they brought it to us. We did it. And it sufficed to say that the extra copies was made that they didn't know about. So I'm guessing the footage that they had of the actual situation between the shooting with JFK, he must have got extremely paranoid when they blew it up and actually saw what happened, right? Because I guess the resolution back then was never, it
The
wasn't
resolution
that,
is directly tied to like what size millimeter film it is. So like 8 millimeter film is not that much resolution.
right?
So whenever you actually make it a little bit larger, and I don't even know how you would be able to, how you could even successfully transfer the resolution to that size and retain all of the quality. I mean, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, I'd be kind of concerned too to see what actually happened.
So he said Grodin, who went to the White, who no, who went on to write several books about the Kennedy assassination, eventually aired the film on ABC late night television. Showed Goodnight America on 1975, the footage that shocked the public. I was scared out of my wits because I wasn't supposed to have the film in the first place, and I was afraid for it to release, says Grodin. He was asked on a podcast host if he became a whistleblower. He replies, yeah, that's what it is. So I've actually tried to look for the film that he aired in 1975, and I can't find it. I don't know if it was just wiped, because the footage that they have now for the JFK assassination is still pretty much the same footage that we've all been seeing.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to know what he was so afraid of, because like in this interview, he didn't really tell him what he was afraid of. He just said that he was afraid of having the copies, but I feel like he saw something on that tape that he wasn't supposed to. Because there was another interviewer that said that JFK was shot by his security. Again, this is conspiracy realm. None of this is factual. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've read, because I think a lot of the problems that JFK had was an inside thing. I don't think it was really with the public. Right? Like I don't see anyone being like, I understand he had his issues, right? Like he wasn't he wasn't the most, I don't know. He wasn't
A
was
lot of
J
people liked him.
Yeah, JFK was liked. He was liked. Like even though they didn't agree with a lot of his political views, he was liked, right? The Kennedy family was extremely liked. So, um, let's see. I don't know. I think a lot of these so even so NBC News, they actually talked about this. Accidental assassination. Accidental assassin. JFK theory alleges Secret Service agent fumbled gun and accidentally shot JFK. Do I believe that? No.
Hit somebody in the head in a moving car. That's a really big accident.
Come on. Many of the most popular Kennedy assassination theories um, have the trappings of the Cold War spy novel, political intrigues, colorful villainy. This is like a lot of twists and turns. But at least one of the theories have gained traction in the recent years. Has relatively straightforward storyline. The assassination of President JFK was a tragic accident, not the work of a sinister gunman or a conspiracy to topple the king of Camelot. It says there are no mafias done or Soviet Union pawns to center the so-called accidental theory, just an ordinary Secret Service agent with a bad case of the Butterfingers. That is bullshit.
That's a tough one to kind of make that logically make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. A moving vehicle. That's what I'm saying. So like if the Secret Service did accidentally do that,
Like they'd clear it up pretty fast.
they would have to have. But why go through all of the elongations of finding the actual shooter? Tell the public that he got shot from behind, right? Because there's only two ways a bullet could have went. If it said it hit his head and his neck, it had the trajectory would have to have gone down, right? But I can't remember the video. Which way did he fall? When he got hit, did he fall forward or did he fall back?
I actually don't remember. But the picture that I saw, or the part that I remember the most, is him leaning backwards and his wife on top of him.
She tried to grab him.
She tried to just stay on top of him so that way he wouldn't get shot again.
Right.
So I would imagine that he was shot from the front through the back. He fell backwards, and then his wife came over and covered him up. But
So that means
that's
Oswald was in front of him, not behind him, right?
I would imagine that the shooter would have to be Like the car would have to be driving towards the shooter.
towards the shooter. So the other angle is the entry. Again, I don't think we'll ever have like the real information. I would love to see the entry of the bullet. Where was the entry of it?
So the bullet entered the rear of his head near the cowlick area and exited from the right side of his head towards the front. The second bullet caused a massive wound, including fragmentation of the skull and damage to the right hemisphere of the brain. The first shot entered his upper back and exited near his larynx.
Oh, so he got shot twice. Both by Oswald. I didn't know it was twice. I thought it was once.
The Warren Commission concluded that the second bullet was the fatal shot, causing extensive damage to the right side of the brain and multiple skull fractures. The autopsy described the bullet as the fatal missile, while some details about the shots and their impact continue to be to be debated.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, I don't that's just strange. I mean, I don't really understand this article by NBC. Like right here it says, but when the car was stopped suddenly, the theory holds that Agent George Hickory lost his balance and accidentally discharged his weapon, sending a .223 caliber round rocket into Kennedy's head. The wound later then killed the 35th president of the United States. And then it says, in quotations, it was entirely accidental. Unfortunately, unfortunately, fate intervened as the agent was attempting to do his job. So, okay. So basically what we got here is Oswald shot him first. And then the Secret Service agent was trying to do his job to save him and then shot him in the head again. That is
That's rough.
that is insane. But it's like how come you don't hear how come you don't hear like you hear about these stories, but why don't you just like this entire article is saying friendly fire. So what I'm guessing is when was this released? When was this article released? This was released November 21st, 2013. So I wonder if we actually went through all 2000 of those articles. If
If anything would be released about the Secret Service agent potentially harming and killing the president.
yeah, it says friendly fire. It says nearly 20 years ago, laid out in theory, mortal error, the shot that killed JFK. It was a book premise, work of Howard Donahue, a Baltimore firearms expert who in the 1967 begins probing ballistics and the forensic evidence that concluded that Hickory was the elusive second gunman whose friendly fire from the street level killed Kennedy. That's what?
Well, I figured if like there are a lot of people who still really care about this case, and if all 2,566 pages weren't read by at least one person who really cared, they would have said something. They would
Yeah.
have reached out to a news company or outlet and
And the
laid
art
out all the
yeah.
information in order and said this is what happened. And
And this article is still up. They haven't taken it down, right? Because normally if something is being falsified or if it's not somewhat accurate, they would take it down or they would be sued. So there has to be some truth to this. And I'm guessing whoever wrote this did extensive research because this was back in 2013. The articles were released when? This
March 18th of this year.
of this year, recently.
But there were also some documents that were released a couple years back, kind of sporadically.
He says, and I read on, it says, over nearly a quarter century, Donahue reportedly pored over the rims of the evidence, including the location of the diameter of the entrance of the exit wound in Kennedy's skull, the trajectory of the explosive impact of the fatal bullet, and a small handful of testimonies from witnesses who smelled gun smoke near the motorcade. Like that's so when I first read this, I couldn't believe what I was reading because it's not like common talk, right? It's not like a common thing where this is actually discussed. And then it goes on, it says, no eyewitnesses have gone on record claiming to have seen Hickory firing an accidental shot. And the Secret Serviceman denied firing his weapon, and none of the 7 other people riding in the follow-up vehicle, 5 Secret Service agents and 2 presidential aides, reported a bullet whistling past their heads. So I don't think they'll ever. I mean, this article is long. Like it's going into detail, like the footnotes and the history. They're talking about related articles. And then it gets into the conspiracy realm where they actually talk about, it says, was he a low level intelligence operative? Perhaps. Was he set up? Perhaps. It's this article is actually pretty interesting. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing, but I just couldn't, because like I didn't know he was shot twice. So I think either I must have read over that part. I thought it was once because I was assuming it either came from Secret Service or it came from Oswald, but they're saying that it came from both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the autopsy pictures right now, and there are definitely two holes.
There's 2 bullet holes. One entry, one oh, just you see both entry holes.
Well, there's four holes in total, but
Yeah.
obviously from one entry and one
One
exit, and
yeah,
then one
exit.
entry from one exit. But
Jesus.
the pictures are pretty pretty crazy looking, as you'd expect from something like that.
They actually aired this. They talked about this back then. McLaren eventually reached out to conclude that the Kennedy assassination was strictly a tragedy of physics. What we're saying is that we believe it was a tragic accident and in the heat of the moment. McLaren told a reporter in July, days before the U.S. president of the JFK, the smoking gun, the cable television special. So this guy Hickory, who died in 2011, um, filed a suit against Meninger and Donahue and St. Martin's Press that published miniature books in 1995, but the judge ruled that the statute of limitations had run out and that the case was dismissed. So this entire thing is just effed up from from beginning to end. Like this was extremely sloppy. Either it was extremely sloppy on purpose or they just didn't want certain stuff getting out. Right? Like that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a cover up. It sounds like extremely powerful people behind the scenes were moving the pieces around.
I mean, it's possible. I often don't think that whenever people bring up conspiracy theories, just in general, uh, that humans are capable of making such things happen exactly how they want them in real life sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
there are just too many variables that us as individuals can't control. And to think that even just a group of people that are pretty intelligent could control them, I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, I mean, you could say that, I mean, it is incredibly easy to just set somebody up and shoot them, but to set up every single, whenever you get into like the details of like every single bit of the plan being completed in a very specific way, set up for him to specifically get hit a certain way. Like those are just things you can't control.
Yeah, that's actually
Like
pretty.
I struggle doing multiple things within a single day effectively. I can only imagine like now I'm not saying that like nobody else could, but just as an average person, I don't think that we have the ability to do that and successfully do it like as it was planned.
What if they paid that guy, the nightclub owner, to kill Oswald so he didn't talk about anything?
I figured like maybe, well, I mean,
Dead men can't talk, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's definitely a possibility, but
But like this guy, I think he just fucked up. That's what this sounds like. It sounds like he was nervous.
if that was the case, then I feel like they really would have outed him out of the Secret Service. They wouldn't want to be associated with him anymore if that was actually the case.
I don't think he had a job after this. I think he was dismissed from his position. But how do you not tarnish the Secret Service name, right? Like you don't convict them.
Oh no, you would oust them from the Secret Service and then you convict them.
Oh, he got ousted. He just didn't get convicted. He got questioned and his case got dismissed.
This is a statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of shady. The entire JFK situation was extremely tragic. My grandmother loved him. I wonder if he really did mess with Marilyn Monroe though.
Oh no.
So
She was a very, very popular.
during that time, yeah. But yeah, that was tragic. Now, for him, it kind of sucks because it's like it sounds like his Secret Service failed him, and then Abraham Lincoln didn't have any Secret Service. It's like, damn, man, that's a tough job
Secret Service or being the president?
being a president. I mean, Secret Service too, because it's like you're literally putting your life on the line to protect another person. And I was always I was always scared when Obama was president. 'Cause like, his Secret Service does not give a fuck about just I mean, come on. Like there's no way I'm the only person who thought about that, right? Like but I mean, obviously you would have to because he picks his Secret Service, right? Like the president picks who he wants to.
I would hope so, right? Because you wouldn't want people that are against you, like trying to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Like you need people that are willing to die for you in order to be your Secret Service.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to pick somebody that's going to run away whenever the time comes to act.
Well, did you see the Secret Service that was around Trump when he got his assassination
They
attempt?
jumped on him.
Yeah, but did you see the people that was around him? Like I looked at his secret. That's your fucking Secret Service, dude.
You mean like just the way they look?
They didn't look intimidating at all. They
That's
looked
probably
like
what you want. You probably want somebody who's unsuspecting.
they looked like high school students. Did you see it?
They all looked like they were older to me.
Let me see. Maybe I'm tripping.
Like
There was like two girls.
the guy with the sunglasses, he looked like he was pretty old, and then the two women were pretty
They looked pretty young.
younger. I don't say they're young, well, younger.
Would you want that? Like, say you're a president, would you want like two girls?
I don't care who it is.
Really?
If you're qualified for the job and you can prove it, and you're not going to run away whenever time comes to.
I wouldn't want any women around me.
Uh,
Just because like so I was watching this movie yesterday. It was called G20. It was with what is her name? She plays Madam President. Um hold on. Her name is what's her name? It just came out. Viola Davis. I don't know if you know who that is. But Viola Davis was the president in this movie, and the G20 summit was in Cape Town, Africa, and it was being hijacked by terrorists for whatever reason. And a lot of the people in the movie had to do hand to hand combat. Now, the movie is obviously not real. There was one point in the movie where she killed like 10 guys that were trained killers. She was the president and she killed like 10 of them. I was looking at the movie like, okay, there's no way. There's no way you were
It's a
turning.
movie.
Yeah, it's obviously a movie, right? Because in real life, come on, come on. Like, I'm not buying it, right? But like hand to hand combat like just the physicalities of like men versus women, I think that would be my biggest concern, right? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some women who are trained hand to hand combat that would that would that would mess some people up. But I think on that level, I would want men. I sound like such an asshole right now. Like, trust me, I understand how I sound. But like, do you get it? Like, there's just like I would want.
So my view of like the Secret Service is if you're the Secret Service, you are making sure that nobody's even getting close enough for hand to hand combat.
That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
if they're able to get close enough to
You're
the
not doing your
president
job.
where you
Yeah,
have to initiate hand to hand combat, you are not doing, I would assume, the job that you're supposed to be doing.
that's fair. Okay, then yeah, then I don't care then.
So I would imagine like you'd have to be pretty
If
proficient in like weapons training.
yeah,
Now, obviously, you'd probably want to know martial arts or some sort of hand to hand combat because that probably would be important if, for some reason, one way or another, someone were to get through, you would have to know how to stop them.
yeah,
And I would say, like, no matter, in most cases, the people that are going to go out and assault somebody else don't have the skill or the technicality just on a base level.
right.
So even if you are just a little bit more proficient than the general population, does I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter whether you're a man or a woman because you'll just be able to take them down because you know something that they don't.
Well, you said it. You said a good part though. You said they would have to be extremely versatile and um what is
Weapons.
it? Yeah, weapons training. So that's fair.
But you can't also just like pull your gun out and shoot somebody if they're running towards the president. But you'd also
I
have, I
mean,
mean,
you
right?
can.
Yeah, you can. But like that
Is
wouldn't
there-
be because like what if it is somebody that like, now that shouldn't be assumed. So if somebody's running, you just shouldn't run towards the president. Like that
you should
shouldn't.
never run towards any public official.
So I mean,
But yeah, to be clear,
realistically, I don't think that they would ever get an opportunity to even get that close.
yeah, that's fair.
Because they probably have security holding the people back, and then the Secret Service is for
Well, don't they
like the
have to do?
last line of defense for.
They have to do like perimeter checks though, like at so far out.
Yeah, they do. They have the marksmans on the roofs
Yeah.
check, and they also do scouting um, for wherever the president's going to be going beforehand. But that is if like he even gets out of the vehicle,
Yeah.
because most of the time, whenever he's being transported, he's not like the Pope where he sits on top of like
Oh no.
he's
He's in the
in the
beast.
beast.
That car and that's one thing that I did love about that movie is they actually showed the beast in the movie and like how thick and guarded that car is, like how much damage it could take. It took like two missiles.
The beast is definitely. I don't know if they just retired it for a different vehicle, but the beast was definitely like one of the.
Did they upgrade it?
I think they might have switched now to something different, but
Did
I'm not
they?
completely sure.
Why would
I
you?
think it's under I think it's a contract thing. Every
Oh,
so
okay.
often they need to upgrade and update the capabilities of the president's vehicle, but I could be completely wrong. But I do, I for some reason do remember at some point that they were looking at changing the vehicle into something else.
Mm. Yeah, but that movie was it was extremely unrealistic. Well, let me not say extremely unrealistic. It was just the part where she was like killing all the bad guys, which kind of threw me off. But keep getting sidetracked. Like I like the entire like do you know how bad that Secret Service agent probably felt if he did do that?
Right, especially if you were chosen specifically by the president.
Yeah. That's like what do you say to his wife? Like what do you
You can't.
say? Like
You
what do
don't.
you
You'd have to like. I mean, you'd obviously have to apologize, but an apology can only go so far. Because like at least apologizing and being like sincere about it would at least show that like you didn't actually mean to do it.
yeah.
Like there is no amount of apologizing that would probably change her mind. That's something that she'd have to come to terms with over time and then accept.
Yeah. I mean it definitely is interesting why this story wasn't blown up like it was supposed to be. Like I don't know if people just stopped worrying about what happened to JFK after the years or if it kind of like dwindled out. But like I mind you, I read that article maybe 3 years ago and it just blew my mind cuz I'm like there's no way this is real. But it's on NBC, right? Like I'm reading this and I'm thinking in my head like damn, is Trump right? Like is this really fake news?
I just think that it's been so long since that has even happened, and there has been no definitive answer or even anything worth like anyone's time to dig further into. It just kind of gets lost with the sands of time.
I think I am going to read some of those articles. Like one of these nights where I can't sleep, I'm just going to like go through them because he has to be in there now. There's no way that Secret Service agent isn't in those files. Like there's no way. Because I don't see because the bullet had to come from somewhere, right? Like I don't see Oswald firing two bullets. I think he fired one, looked up out of his scope,
See if you hit.
and he hit him. And he was packing up to leave. So where'd the other bullet come from? Because I don't see you fire what you fired two bullets and boom boom. That's not you don't that's you don't normally
Yeah,
do that,
no.
right? Not while he was moving. So I mean, not unless he's John Wick.
I mean, there are some very, very highly trained people that I mean, I could see. I don't think he was that highly trained though.
No.
Is what I'm trying to say. Is I don't think he was so skilled. Like he wasn't like an ex-marine or he wasn't a green beret. Like he wasn't anything of any significance. Like he seemed like he was a little bit above an average guy or an average guy.
So moral of the story is make sure you pick your Secret Service Secret Service right. That's the moral of the fucking story because that oh my god, that would be painful. You get to heaven's gates and you're like, what happened? Hey boss, Secret Service. Wow. But yeah, I mean, again, we don't know if that's true. The guy was never convicted. Um, it was just a story that I thought was extremely interesting. I thought the comparisons between Abraham Lincoln and JFK was extremely interesting. And yeah, man, this is American history. This is gonna go down in history like the Roman Empire went down in history. So it's like this is weird facts about what happened. But I'm definitely going to be looking into the JFK situation a little bit more. So if I do bring this up again, we can double back. But yeah, the JFK situation always had my interest. Always had my interest. There's just so much. And that's not even doing a deep dive of like what people were really pissed at him about. Right? That's just the surface level of what was going on because there was a lot of things that was going on behind the scenes with his family, his father, the elections, his uncles. Because like his relatives, like who died on the plane? It was
I have no
They died in a
knowledge
plane
on
crash.
the Kennedy family.
Yeah, I think some of them died in a plane crash. Yeah, on July 16th, 1999, John F. Kennedy Jr. died when the light aircraft was piloting crashing into the Atlantic Ocean in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Kennedy's wife, Caroline Bassett, and sister-in-law, Lauren Bassett, were also on board when the plane crashed, when they died. That's that's insane. Like the entire storyline behind this family is just insane. And the craziest thing, there's like no movies.
Like new movies, I'm sure there were movies made about it.
There were, but there's no new movies made about JFK. Like it's not. It says an epic political thriller in 1991 by Oliver Stone. The film examines an investigation into the assassination of JFK. So there's no actual film, right? Like there's a film on Malcolm X, there's a film on Martin Luther King. There's like no actual film about the life and story of JFK. I mean, I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing, it's not saying they're like documentaries. I don't know if you found something different.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at here, just at a glance, just seems like it's covering the assassination of JFK, and not necessarily like his life or his life outside of politics, or even his wife. Well, there is a movie about uh, named Jackie, but I'm not sure if that particularly goes into.
It was about her though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what some of the what the backstory is on some of these movies, so I can't really say, to be completely honest.
Like there was movies about George H.W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, First Lady Jackie Kennedy. Yeah. Well, all right. But this is all that we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, yeah, if you guys have any movies, recommendations as far as the like holding for JFK, let me know, please, because I would love to check those movies out. But I haven't seen anyone. Brayden, maybe we can write a movie.
Write a movie.
Maybe we can write a script. You know, people do that. Like they write scripts and sell it to Hollywood.
I mean that. Yeah, I do believe that. I mean
Yeah,
that's definitely a thing that people do.
we
But
should do it.
you gotta.
We should do it. We should write the shit out of a script and see if they'll make it. We'll probably get flagged. Like we're not fucking making
I don't
this.
even feel qualified enough to even like write a script about something like that.
Why not? All the information's there.
I just don't have the interest in like spending the time. And
all we gotta do is read and put some stuff together.
I think I think the more interesting part would be, and more or less in the sense of like time, is who's even left to talk about it that was alive during the actual event. Not saying like the crowd, but I mean like the
Yeah.
people physically involved with the event. Like those would be the people I'd want to talk to, but you'd probably have to get security clearance to talk to most of those people, and they probably are under some sort of oath to where they wouldn't be able to talk about it in the first place.
You think they're still alive?
They'd be close to being dead. They'd have to
They
be
gotta
dead
be
by
in their
now.
90s.
They well, if I can't imagine if you're in the Secret Service, you're any younger than 40. So if you're in the Secret Service and you're 40 in 1963.
Oh yeah, they're dead. That would make them 100
Yeah, that
years
would make them
old.
130, 120 years old.
Yeah, they're
Like
dead. Those
they
people
would
are dead.
they would have to be dead by now. So I mean, I think we're kind of already past that point to where like having the people that were directly involved would add some validity. But at the same time, like if you ask them about something in their elderly age, what
Yeah.
happened 50 years ago, like chances are you'll probably get something that's a little bit different than what had actually happened.
Right. Oh man. I would love to see a movie written about JFK, like accurately done. I think the last movie that I watched about the president with George H.W. Bush and Dick Cheney was pretty funny. I forget what the movie was called. I think it was called I can't I don't know why I can't remember stuff without looking.
Well, I mean, that's not what our brain was meant for.
Yeah,
Our brain was designed to remember bad things and not particularly things that are useful.
oh, it was called Vice. Movie was hilarious. I mean, they kind of stretched a lot of stuff, but the movie was 100% hilarious. I found it hilarious because that was the real president in my eyes, Dick Cheney. But that's another topic for another time. Well, yeah, if you guys find any movies or good documentaries about JFK, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed your time. Till next time.